Hello there guys, and welcome to another Forza Horizon 5 video on my channel. This time I'm a bit more punctual than I was last week, and I am here today to give you a rundown of the Series 25 Summer/Wet Season Festival playlist. We are now in Series 25, also known as Horizon Creatives, where there are a total of 300 points available. There are some new cars, there is an EventLab island and some other cool stuff. I talked about the update, what was coming in this update in the video last weekend, so if you want to see more in detail about the new cars, the EventLab island and other stuff that has come this month, then you can go back and watch the second half of that video. Dobra, one of the channel moderators, kindly did this timestamps for me without me even asking, so if you go in the description, go down to the chapters section, you can skip to that to watch the overview of this series. But today I want to run through the Summer Festival playlist, giving you all the tunes and tips that I have, going through all the challenges, and trying to help you unlock the 20 point and the 40 point reward. So as usual, just before we get started with all of the exclusive Festival playlist challenges, we'll run through the series and seasonal rewards. So in the whole Horizon Creative series across the 4 weeks that started yesterday, the 14th of September, until it'll be like the 13th or the 14th of October, so we have a whole month of this. For 80 points you'll be able to unlock the BMW 850 CSI. You may remember this car from Horizon 4. I made a dedicated video to it where I took it around some drift zones. Looking forward to trying doing that again, and that is your 80 point reward. So if you get 20 points every week, you will have unlocked that once you get 20 points in the spring season. And then for 160 points across the whole series, you've got the Porsche 911 Gunther Works. That car's already in the game, whereas the BMW is just coming to the game this update, hence it is an exclusive. So the Porsche, you'll need to get 40 points every week if you want to unlock that, or get more points in a couple of the weeks to balance it out, but I find I just get 40 points every week, the bare minimum to get the rewards, and I don't really do much more because I don't see the point. Finally then, before we get started, this week's summer seasonal rewards. So there are a total of 75 points available in this season, and that applies also for the other seasons because there's a total of 300. For 20 points out of 75, you'll be able to get the brand new to Forza 2021 BMW M3. I believe it's the competition as well. So we got the M4 competition a couple of months ago, and now we've got the M3. Hoping it's got some nice customization like the M4 did to make it look a bit better, because let's face it, it doesn't look great. Not a massive fan of the new BMW styling lately, but that is a personal opinion that I think is shared by quite a lot of people. But anyway, we won't go into too much detail in that. That is your 20 point reward, should take you less than half an hour if you follow my guide. And then for 40 points you get the Mercedes AMG GT, which I believe was added in as an exclusive a couple of months ago, or maybe about 6 months ago if I'm correct. I don't think it is in the auto show, but I might be mistaken. But anyway, that is your 40 point reward for this week, and that should take you no longer than an hour, hopefully, if you follow my guide to complete the challenges. Okay, let's crack on with the first section, the Forzathon events section. So as usual, we've got the weekly Forzathon challenge, the daily challenges, and the Horizon Forzathon shop to check out, so let's get on with it. First of all, we have the weekly Forzathon challenge, Elite Elise. For this one, you'll need to use the 1999 Lotus Elise Series 1 Sport, which is, I believe, in the auto show. For how much, I don't know. I have a tune for this, which I made on one of my streams quite a while ago. It was just a random kind of S1825 tune, so if you want to use that for these challenges, by all means, it should be shared. If it isn't, I do apologise, just let me know in the comments or via Xbox and I will share that. But to be honest with you, you could probably complete this stock or make your own tune or download another tune, whatever you feel comfortable with to get this challenge complete. Once you're in your Lotus, you need to earn 3 stars at speed traps, whether that be 3 stars straight away or a total of 3 stars across various runs. Doesn't matter, you can use the same speed trap, different speed traps. Just get a total of 3 stars and then that will pop up. Next you need to beat any rival's ghost. Now this might be a bit confusing to some people. Basically what it means is you need to enter any rival's event in this Lotus and then beat your rival. So there is no specific race that you have to enter. You can pick either road, street, dirt or cross country, or even drag racing if you wanted to. But I would pick, I'd probably pick road or street because that's more appropriate to this car, but if you've got an off-road tune, then by all means do dirt or cross-country. And even if you've got a drag tune, then of course do drag racing. And then you can select which ghost you want to do. So when you click on it, if you click Y to change the rival, you can pick a rival, perhaps in your friends list that's a really slow time, and then you just need to go ahead and beat them. So no need to make this challenge too difficult for yourself. Pick a really slow ghost to go with against, beat them, which should be, if you drive carefully, quite easy, and then you will have this challenge completed. And then the final chapter of the weekly Forzathon challenge is to maintain a speed of 99 miles an hour, which equates to 159 kilometers an hour or above, for 25 seconds. The easiest way to do this is go up the highway, get up to 99 miles an hour, which shouldn't take too long, even in the stock Lotus, and then maintain it for 25 seconds. That usually feels quicker than it actually is, so that shouldn't take you too long at all. Once you've done that, you'll have 5 points towards the playlist, and you'll have yourself 80 or 160 Forzathon points, depending on if you have the La Casa Soligera house. P.S. If you want to know more about what the La Casa Soligera house gives you, either go over to the house and see what perks it gets, or you can ask me in the comments and I'll be more than happy to explain that. Regarding the daily challenges, we're not going to spend any time on these. They're usually quite simple. You get one release every day at 3:30 PM BST at the moment. However, the clocks will be going back in about a month's time, I think. So they release at 3:30 PM BST and they last for 7 days each. So they last for a whole week each. So in my opinion, there's no need to rush to do them as they come out. I usually leave until a couple of them unlock and then do a few at a time to get the last few points, to get 40 points in the playlist, but it's completely up to you how you want to do that. If you need any help with any of them across the week, let me know in the comments or on Xbox or Discord and I'll be more than happy to help you out. This week's Forzathon shop consists of the Mercedes AMG 1 for 700 points, the TVR for 350, a cuckoo horn, which sounds like this, and a spake jumper. Do you pronounce that spake? I don't really know. I bought the horn just because I didn't have it and I just quite like horns, and I've got many Forzathon points to spare. I don't think any of these deals are really very valuable. You probably already got the AMG one, to be honest with you, but if you want to buy it then by all means go ahead. Right, we move swiftly on to the seasonal events section. This is quite a large section, so we're going to be starting off with the Horizon Arcade. For this, all you need to do is complete any Horizon Arcade theme and you'll get 3 points towards the playlist. You'll also get a bunch of Forzathon points as well to go with it. So you just need to make sure that you complete all 3 rounds of any Horizon Arcade. It can be any theme, so there's drift, wreckage, air, and whatever the other ones are. It doesn't matter which one you do, doesn't matter if you're on your own or with a bunch of people. Depending on how many people there are participating, the objectives will be increased or decreased. If you're on your own, the objectives aren't going to be the same as if there's 5 people. So there's no need to worry about that. They're usually quite simple. Make sure you complete it within 10 minutes and that is that challenge completed. Apologies for the notifications popping up. I should probably turn them off, but I just leave them on anyway. Right, next up, there's 3 event labs this week. I haven't actually looked to see if that's the case for the other weeks, but because it's called Horizon Creatives this month, obviously there's a lot of creativity going on, and especially with the Event Lab Island as well, we've got quite a hefty section full of event labs, which I'm not really going to complain about. I just realised that I'm on the trial here, but it seems though we're on the topic, we'll go at the event labs. So like I said, there's 3 of them. The first of which is Junus Rallycross Circuit by Unworthy Pleb, and the restriction for this one is A-Class, Modern Rally and Rally Monsters. So I quite like that they've kind of combined restrictions, so it makes it a bit more open. So this is kind of a rally cross track as suggested by the name, around the Baja circuit, and you need a modern rally or a rally monster. Okay, so heading over to my garage, into my favourite section for this week, we start at Mitsubishi with the welcome pack version of the Lancer Evolution X. So if you don't own the welcome pack, which you can buy separately or are part of the premium add-ons bundle, then you'll have to use the stock one. But I have upgraded, sorry, I haven't upgraded because it's stock. This is the stock tune of the welcome pack version, so with the welcome pack they're like pre-tuned cars. So this is one of them. I find that it is actually really good considering it's a Playground Games tune, no offence, but they're usually crap. It is quite good, and that's why it is a recommendation from me for this challenge. Then we also have the Opel Manta 400, so this is our rally monster. This tune is by me, and if I don't mention otherwise throughout this video, all of the tunes that I'm showing will be by me. Gamertag Shroud 2017. Like I said before, if they aren't shared for whatever reason, or there's any confusion which is which, then do just let me know and I'll be happy to advise on that one. And then we also have the 2004 Subaru Impreza WRX STI, which is now wingless or spoilerless. It's very fast, very good launch, very good off-road capabilities thanks to the off-road tyres. Also very cheap, and lots of torque. I do really like this car. It's not the best at handling, but it's just fun to chuck it around, and it's also very light. So they're my recommendations for this one. Next in the EventLab agenda is Scanati Part 1 Oval by Josie. Part 1 of 3 according to his very brief description. This one is S2 Class Extreme Track Toys. Okay, so I've got a couple to suggest for this one as well. First up is the Bugatti Divo. Pretty much maxed out, with a couple of upgrades missing, but not quite the top of S2 class, but very worthy. It's incredibly grippy, incredibly fast, and quite a fun car to drive actually, obviously with that massive W16 engine. Then we've also got the Ferrari F40 Competizione. Fun fact, I actually tuned this car during my Let's Play at the very start of FH5. So this tune is coming up to 2 years old, but it's still going strong. Moving along, we have the Koenigsegg CCGT. This tune isn't by me, as far as I'm aware. I think it's by ESV Mars, or it might be by one of the other tryhard guys. I don't actually know. But if you want me to, I can check on that if you leave a comment. But I do know that it's not my tune. And then finally, moving along to the very end, we've got the Ultimate Evolution 1020. I've actually got two tunes for this. I've got the all-wheel drive one on here, because that's the most drivable of the two. But then I've also got a rear-wheel drive one with more horsepower, but it's a death trap. So if I were you, I'd use this one. Okay, and finally, for week one's Event Labs, we have Horizon Mexico Rally Short by ES Grumpy. I actually got him as a friend. I didn't know he was an EventLab creator. I think I added him because of his tunes and designs, but just another trick in his books by the looks of it. So this is, according to him, a shortened version of the full rally stage. And it requires B-Class, Classic and Retro Rally. Again, a combination of classes there. Right, so we start off in the Classic with the Alpine A110 from 1973. This one is quite underpowered, but it's focused more on grip with the off-road race tyres and the downforce. It's also quite expensive, but I would say it's probably worth it if you're wanting to use that. Then we have the Audi Sport Quattro. I believe that this is my tune, although I can't actually remember creating it. So if there is any pondering on that one, then of course let me know. Then we also have a couple of Escorts, with first of all the 1973 Escort, which has got the new Turbo Rally engine in it. And then we've got the 67 Racing Escort, complete with Stobart livery, which is a lot more expensive, and that one's slightly more underpowered, but I would argue that that one's actually more fun to drive. Then moving right along, we've got the Mitsubishi Evo 6 from 1999, that one's definitely my tune. And then moving along again, we've got the Subaru Legacy, which is good for road and dirt. got the Subaru 22B, which is probably my go-to for dirt heavy tracks. And finally, wrapping up this, we've got the Toyota Celica from 1992. Again with the Turbo Rally, more focused on speed than downforce, but also very cool. Okay, now we'll come back to the trial, which is called It's Super Effective. And shout out to anyone that has, before I've mentioned it now, spotted just on the front bumper of the Porsche 911 Singer in that picture that it says livery by Andrew9565. That is Dobra from the channel, the one that I mentioned earlier, who, well, without me asking, did the timestamps for last week's video. Absolute legend, very talented, so if you can, go and check him out. Glad that he got this feature, it shows that the developers recognise him, so massive props to him for that. Anyway, now I've got rid of that inactivity warning, we can get to the point. So the restriction for this one is S1 modern supercars, and it will get you 10 points. Remember that this is a co-op challenge, so you'll be on a team of real people versus a team of drivatars. Just to clarify, you're racing against the drivatars, not against the real people, so don't be ramming and dive bombing the real people. By all means do that to the AI, but try not to take out a teammate in the process. You're about to find out that I'm quite, you know, modern supercars are quite popular for me, as it would seem. I'm quite fond of them because I've got quite a lot of them tuned. First up is the 2016 Audi R8. It's probably my least favourite out of all of these, to be honest, for racing, because it's definitely speed orientated. With the racing V12, it doesn't really like to turn. Same kind of goes for the Chevrolet Corvette C8, which is on rally tyres. With the racing V8, it does turn because of the wide body, but it's not the best. The Ferrari J50 is quite a good choice. I really like the engine sound in this one as well, and it's got plenty of power with the rally tyres again. However, this is car pass. If you don't own the car pass, you can't use that one. One of my favourites is the Ford GT. This is heavily downforce, but it's also really good on the launch and on the braking. We've got the Lamborghini Huracan with the wide body, again on rally tyres, bit understeery but very good. Same goes for the Huracan Evo, however again this is car pass only. Moving along, we've got two GTRs. We've got the R35 in 2017, again no handling on that one. However, the wide body with my Japan livery, shout out to me for that one. The 2012, that's really good, in my opinion, obviously. And then we've got the Noble M600, which is a really, really good, like, purist build, rear wheel drive. But once you get going, you would not know it's rear wheel drive. I really like that one, very fun car. Now we move on to the seasonal PR stunts. Excuse that I've accidentally completed the auto pista trap. I was just testing the tune and I accidentally went through the speed trap because I didn't realise that it was the seasonal one. And I realised at the last minute and I didn't have time to hit pause as I went through it, so I accidentally completed that. But anyway, this week we have 3 of these speed traps, and I'm guessing that we're going to have themes. Yeah, so they're all danger signs, so they're going to be like blocked this month into categories. So the 3 speed traps all require the same car, and that is the Nissan 240 SX SE. I can't remember what year it is, I think it's 1993, and you need to have that in C-Class for all of these. Well, I got the year right. Anyway, I've created a bit of a manic tune for this one because I thought they're all speed traps, and when I looked at them, none of them require you to go around a corner, really. Kind of. So I thought, let's go power build, because it's C-Class, let's go power build. So I put the GTR engine in it, maxed it out, rear wheel drive, and that's literally it. Put some wider track width on it, sport suspension, and that is it. Very cheap. Well, the car's cheap, the upgrade's about double that, but it's very good. It's crazy, as you will see when you drive it. I'm not going to demonstrate in this video because it'll probably take too much time. However, if you play manual, especially when you launch it, shift up to 3rd straight away, then to 4th, and then into 5th, because it's a sport gearbox with the stock gears. It's actually alright, and I think that you'll be able to get the speed transfers, especially because one of them's on the highway, so that's easy. One of them's running into the city, but you don't really need to turn. Get it in a straight line, don't wheel spin, get the throttle down, and then the other one also should be accomplishable with this tune. So if you want to try it out, you know what to do, and I hope that you don't spin out, although you probably will. Oh, and by the way, it doesn't have any brakes, so don't be expecting to stop shortly. Right, only 2 seasonal championships this week, thanks to the extra event labs. However, to be honest, I'd rather do other people's creations than do the championships, I'm not going to lie to you. So the first one is called Y2K. I don't really know if that's supposed to mean anything. I don't understand it, but maybe one of you does. This one's street racing, so that's the one with the AI that I absolutely hate. And it'll get you 5 points in the Mercedes SLS. The restriction is A-Class 2000, so any car from the 2000s, provided it is in A-Class. You can downgrade it to A-Class, you can upgrade it to A-Class, or it can be A-Class stock. Just needs to be A-Class by the end of it. Okay, so again, I've got quite a few for this one, so I'll try to get through them quickly. 2001 Acura Integra is my front-wheel drive purist slight power build, but with rally tyres. I actually really think that's quite fun to drive. Obviously, don't plant the throttle down halfway around the corner because it is front-wheel drive, but budget power build, and it's well, if I can say so myself, quite good. Then we've got the BMW Z4M that I made on a stream once for some racing thing. It's not too bad, a bit understeery, but overall it's quite a solid all-wheel drive build. Then we've got the Chevrolet from 2002, the Corvette from 2002. Again, another purist build, but this time rear-wheel drive. Then we've got the Focus from 2009, probably not the best type of build for that car, but it still works to a certain degree. Then we've got the Mercedes SL65, I believe that's an exclusive, but I'm not too sure, and I'm not too sure that I actually created that tune, because it doesn't seem that I've actually driven it. However, you know, feel free. Then we've got the R34 Nissan Skyline, with my rather non-purist tune. However, it works, which is the point. And then, of course, you can use the Impreza again, or you can use the Toyota Celica from 2003. Got a couple of tunes on that one, but my favourite is the front-wheel drive race build, which is installed here. The second and final championship for the summer season is called Retroactive. This one's dirt racing, will get you 5 points and a GTR from 93. The restriction for this one is B-Class Retro Rally. So if you were paying attention, when we went through the third event lab, we covered Classic and Retro Rally, so just pick out the ones from that are in the Retro category, and they are the same suggestions. There's no point me going back to my garage for that one. Right, now we have the challenges section, and we'll start off with the treasure hunt. Horizon Rush Treasure Stunt. The treasure clue for this week is head east from the Horizon Rush Festival site along the Copper Canyon to find the hidden treasure stunt course. And that will get you 3 points towards the playlist and 100 grand in credits once you smash through the chest. But first you need to find that stunt course. I'm not going to lie, that's not really much of a... Well, usually they're more like riddles, aren't they? But that one is pretty straight to the point. So, you need to find the stunt course, complete it, I guess, and then find the chest afterwards. So, if you want to see where the chest is, I'll go ahead, complete that, and go ahead and find it now. And then I'll pop it up on the screen. So if you don't want to see that, then just pause the video or skip it about 30 seconds or to the next chapter, and so that you don't get it spoilt for yourself. Okay, so ironically, I was actually in the car, the Ford Brockie that is on the thumbnail of the treasure hunt. I didn't do that purposely, I was just driving around in it earlier while I was doing the Eliminator. That guy's also in it. So interestingly, you don't actually have to do anything, you just have to drive towards the stunt course, which is where I am, and then it pops up this circle, and then you can find where the chest is. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, so once you've found the stunt course, all you then need to do is find the start, which is on the east end of the course, and then go around the course. And then when you get to the end of it, the treasure chest, sorry, is at the very end of the stunt course. You'll probably jump through it like I did accidentally, and then you will have completed the challenge and found 100,000 credits. Very simple. Next up is the photo challenge, #Space Project, which wants you to photograph the 2021 Mercedes-AMG 1 at the Gran Telescopio. So the Gran Telescopio is the telescope, basically, telescope tower on the top of the mountain. It's on the west side, so the dirt side of the mountain, where there's a little bit of a kind of off-cut of the main road around the mountain, where it kind of goes off a bit, and it's just on there. You can't really miss it, even if you're at the bottom of the volcano. Go ahead, get in your AMG 1, which again you can buy from the Forzathon shop, as I mentioned earlier. Take a photo with it in it, as there is an example of on this thumbnail here, and then you'll get 2 points and a to the moon Forza link reward. Even though I've already completed it, the Eliminator Battle Royale challenge is, as always, to finish 30th or better. If you're in a session where there's less than 30 people to start, then bravo, you've already completed it. If not, you'll have to survive until 30 or less drivers are left, and then if you don't want to carry on, self-eliminate yourself by letting somebody else win, and then you'll have the Welcome to the Eliminator Forza link reward. Okay, we're on to the monthly events section now, nearing the end. And there are four monthly Rivals events this week. So we've got, not this week, this month, hence the name, still silly me. So we've got 2 of the normal monthly Rivals, then 2 of the Forza EV monthly Rivals, where we've got electric vehicles, which we haven't actually had for a few months, so that's quite nice. So the first one is in the new BMW M2, which you can get in winter for 20 points when we get to that in a couple of weeks. And that is around the Lookout Circuit. Then the next one is the Route Nord Street Race. So you'll notice a theme here. So the first one was road, this is street, in the BMW 850 CSI, which of course you can get for 80 points across the series. Then we've got the Baja California Trail in the Rivian R1T. That's the pickup version, I believe. Oh, that might be the R1S. I don't really know. You can't really tell because both of them are pictured. One of them's the R1T, one of them's the R1S. Well, one's the pickup and one's the SUV, but either way, one of them's a dirt race and one of them's a cross country. So for all 4 of these, you just need to post a clean lap. So don't hit any walls, don't miss a checkpoint, don't get reset. Basically, don't dirty your time and you'll complete the challenge. You don't actually have to beat your ghost, which you do have to do in the weekly Forzathon challenge, but you don't have to do that here. You just need to post a clean lap. Obviously, you need to do it for all 4 of them. Doing one won't complete all 4, and then you'll have completed it for the month. But you don't have to actually do it this week. If you think, oh, I haven't got the time, I'll do that next week, absolutely fine. You've got all month to do these, so unless you specifically want to do them this week or you want to improve your time across the month, then you just do them whenever you feel you want to across the month. Then we have the expansion challenges. I'm not really going to go into any detail on these. So both of the drift zones require the BMW M397 in A class. Haven't got a tune for that, so you'll have to either create your own or find one in the Creative Hub. Then the championship on the rally expansion is C-Class Retro Hot Hatch, so they're things like the Civic, the Escort, etc. And then A-Class Aston Martin. I have actually got a tune on the Aston Martin DBX, which is made for road/dirt, but obviously that's Hot Wheels, so it might not be great, but if you want to use it, then by all means go ahead. Obviously you need to own the expansions and have got to, I think you have to get to S2 on the Hot Wheels, and I don't know how much you have to do with the rally expansion to be able to access the Festival Playlist challenges, but of course if you don't own them and you want to go for the 100% challenge, as long as you don't own it, it will acknowledge that and it'll only count the other events that you're able to access. Okay, so that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate your support. If you want to see more, then of course please do subscribe to the channel. We are approaching 400 subscribers, so it'd be great if you could join the channel. And if you want to obviously get notified when I upload or go live in the future, then turn your notifications on. Also keep an eye on the community posts tab or in your subscription feed for when I'm posting stuff, putting polls on, etc., which I do every now and again to inform you guys of stuff. I'll see you next week where we get a chance to unlock the BMW iX, which is possibly the ugliest car ever made. That is the autumn season, and of course we'll be working towards our BMW and Porsche in the overall series. So thank you for watching once again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!